The NHL Draft is going on tonight in Buffalo. The Kraken have the 7th overall pick. And before we dig into the draft a bit, let's talk about the Kraken's latest attempt to land a free agent. They offered Stars forward Jason Robertson an 8-year contract worth $15 million a season, and he turned it down. $15 million a season is double what he made last season in Dallas. You look at the reaction in Seattle and maybe across the league. What's your reaction, Ariel, to this?
My reaction is that simply Stars don't want to come here, and I can't tell you exactly why. I can't pinpoint it, but if Stars refuse to sign massive, life-changing contracts to play with the Kraken, then you're not going to get any other stars along the way. I mean, what do they have? They don't have a single superstar right now. They've got a lot of guys that were in the middle six of their lineup, and that now they come over here, they have to be the stars, and they're not equipped to be that way. We need a superstar here, and I don't know how you start attracting it.
I mean, I think you take a look at a couple of years ago, this Kraken team was in the mix, right? They were still a young team, a new team, but they got themselves into a position where they were able to get to playoffs quick. But they have had a precipitous downfall since then. And I think we're always, in the last couple of years, we've been in this perpetual stage of rebuilding. And I think a lot of really good players that are in their prime don't want to come and be a part of a rebuilding process and be the guy that's the only guy there. So you take a look at this, and this guy's going to make that kind of money, be one of the top 3 paid players in the National League, and not come. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, I mean, about that year, I mean, they still didn't have any superstars back then either. They were just a good, scrappy team in their second year of existence, able to push their way into the playoffs for the single only year they were able to do that. So until you get a solid superstar on this team, I can't see them attracting too many free agents. They're going to try with this draft. They have the 7th overall pick. They've hit in the past couple of years. But you're not drafting Celebrini here, Paul.
Yeah, no. I mean, that guy, you're right. That's a story for another day for sure. The way he performed out of college with San Jose right out of the draft. But I will say this, because as a fan and as a guy that follows this team, just like the rest of us, you sit there on the sidelines and you're like, hey, go spend some money on a sniper. Go get us a goal scorer. And you got to give the Kraken credit.
They tried.
They were going to overpay, in my opinion, for Jason Robertson to bring a guy who scored 40 for Dallas last year, and he doesn't want to come. And so you're right, Ariel. They tried. They gave it a shot. They went out and tried to get that sniper. It's not going to happen with him. Maybe it'll happen with someone else. But unfortunately, and this is what the Mariners found years ago, they're going to have to spend a little extra to get somebody to come out to the Pacific Northwest and continue their careers. And I think that you saw that with the Mariners in certain situations where they had to overpay for their free agents, and they got guys out here. But, as we mentioned, Kraken, it's either a rebuild, maybe it's a tear down, or do they continue to do what they're doing? They have the 7th overall pick in the draft. Kraken broadcaster Allison Lucan joined us on the show yesterday to preview the draft. And while it would be nice for the team to draft an NHL-ready player, maybe a college kid, a little more experienced, Allison says the draft is still dominated by teenagers.
Arguably, you look at the fact that historically NCAA players maybe trended a little older. In hockey, unlike some of the other major sports, these players don't often jump right to the big leagues. So is there an opportunity, to your point, for an older player to maybe be more mature and more ready? The projected 1st overall draft pick is playing at Penn State right this past season. We'll see. The talent is going to demand where players should be picked, not necessarily the stream of where they come from anymore.
Speaking to somebody with the Kraken yesterday, they don't want to be in a rebuilding stage right now. They actually think that they can compete in the next couple of years. So it kind of goes back to the point, you need some big name blockbuster pieces if you're going to compete and if you're not going to be in a rebuild.
Listen, they offered the guy $15 million on an 8-year contract. That's a heck of a commitment. So, I mean, that just tells you this is what they're up against. I mean, I feel like that's the way it is right now.
I think they're just going to have to go and get one of these young snipers. Like you said, get a young teenager. You got to go up to Kent, go to Medicine Hat, go to Kamloops, one of the Saskatoon.
Look at you with your WHL knowledge.
That's me, man.
Show off throwing it out there.
He's Canadian.
I got a little Canadian in me, you know what I'm saying? But I know you got to go get one of these little 16-year-old kids that are a prodigy and then bring them out here to Seattle and show them what the life is like out here and make him a professional and make him the face of your team, because people don't want to come here, obviously, right? So let's make our own thing here right in Seattle. Just
listen, I'm glad you brought up junior hockey. There's some guys watching very closely tonight from the Thunderbirds and the Silvertips to see where they're going to go.